Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I want to present you the first of the 6 reward vehicles you can get in the ongoing Operation F.R.O.S.T. And this is the first batch that Gaijin has given us, content creators, for a 2-week test drive, which is pretty generous, and so we can make content on them. So in other words, I can tell you if it is worth going for this or not. Now, obviously, you pick them up on the way to the second batch, which costs 10 stars, right? And so, if it is worth putting it into service and trying your best with it. And I have mixed feelings about the QF 3.7 RAM, which is a British rank 3 battle rating 5.0 premium tank destroyer. In other words, the full name is OQF 3.7-inch AA on RAM mounting. It has a 94mm OQF Mark II cannon, and it shares the caliber, yet not the performance, with the Tortoise, battle rating 6.7 British tank destroyer, infamous for its armor, which in War Thunder is not that much worth of. So we have on the 94mm Shot Mark I on the Tortoise, a mass velocity of 930 meters per second with 256 millimeters of penetration. Is the QF 3.7 RAM taking over that performance at battle rating 5.0? The answer is not quite, because it has 204 millimeters of penetration on its Shot Mark I APCDC round with no high explosive filler and 792 meters per second mass velocity. So it is a great gun for this battle rating in terms of reload and penetration, and also the spalling fragmentation damage is okay, so I can kill with it once I get the gun on target. This is both problematic due to the gun handling and also due to the mobility, and in third part also because of the lack of protection. And I want to talk you through this. And as you can see in the ongoing gameplay, it requires a lot of foresight, situational awareness, and just ambushing the enemy. A lot of patience and planning, and even then it doesn't really always work. So as you can see, I disabled here this Panther, and this is how you do it with this tank. If you can't outright kill the enemy tank, then you have to make it combat ineffective, taking the gun breech, gun barrel, turret ring, or just immobilizing it with an engine shot before it can turn its turret. Again, 6-second reload for an ace crew that is fully trained. Let's talk about the rest of the stuff, shall we? Let's begin with the mobility. So we have 13.8 horsepower per ton ratio, top speed of 40 and -5 in reverse. That is okay. She can go to places, and at this battle rating, you know, not everybody has a very quick tank. In fact, the majority of your opponents have similar horsepower to ton ratio. So the mobility is okayish, but it doesn't have really neutral steering, so turning around or turning on the place is not given. Why is that important? Well, because let's come to the gun handling, and as you can see, it looks like it has a fully traversable gun mounting. But that's not really true. It can only go 90 degrees to the left and to the right. It cannot shoot behind itself, and that is pretty much a flaw. The next thing is the turret traverse speed, and that is 8 degrees per second. That's not really all that great, right? Then 4 degrees per second gun elevation speed is okayish, it's fairly standard, but the gun depression is -5 degrees. That is Russian level of gun depression, but you can elevate the gun 80 degrees upwards, skywards, so because, you know, this is an AA mounting. It lacks any sort of flak shell, and if you hit an aircraft with the high explosive shell, then this is Thunder show worthy, right? Again, the high explosive shell, not really that much to talk about. 13 millimeters of penetration, just under 800 meters per second mass velocity. It's an HE shell of lower caliber, so it's not like the Russian 122 millimeter, which would be usable. Yeah, so to get the gun on target, especially in city maps, close quarters environments, etc., it's not really ideal for this. In fact, it's pretty bad. So this is a long range ambush predator. But long range in War Thunder with the map designs around objectives not really given. And as you can see, for quite some time, very often there is not that much that you can do with this tank. But once in a while, you know, the enemy just doesn't see you. Again, positioning is key. I could do those shots with practically any other tank in the British lineup. But yeah, with this one, sadly, it is required, not optional. And again, you know, this situation just demonstrates perfectly how long it takes to swing the gun around to get it on target. And this is before the enemy notices you. And then we come to the third part, and that is the armor. As you will see in this scene, it's all but absent. So I really wonder where the 29 tons for the tank come from. It must be only down to the weight of the gun, really. So yeah, because the crew is protected by a rolled homogeneous armor plating, which is rather flat, of 10 millimeters, and the enemy just can kill the majority of the crew, even with machine gun fire from the front, because the majority of the crew is not really protected. So that is a major disadvantage. And this is before we have to talk about airplanes, rockets, bombs, artillery strikes. It's really, really bad. The only thing that is a little bit of a saving grace is you have 7 crew members. 7. That's quite a lot. And that explains the quick reload, because 2 of them are loaders, obviously. On the other hand, yeah, you lose crew quite a lot quite quickly. You have no machine gun, you have no armor, you have not really that outstanding speed, you have no good gun handling, and you have no artillery strike, you cannot scout, turret traverse is limited, turret traverse is slow. Yeah, it's all about the firepower, it's all about the gun, and it has no high explosive filler, it doesn't have an autoloader, it doesn't have any special shell type. So if I would really have an eye on this tank and I wouldn't be interested in the Merkava, I wouldn't really go for it. It is a tank that is underwhelming. It is below average. But the following scene really makes up for it, and it kind of summarizes the tank in a nutshell. So I think to myself, after leaving my first ambush position, the rest of my team has died on the front line. I see this Panther, there is no chance I can get my gun on him. Now I try to turn around, I hear another tank behind me. I try to evade here the Panther. He's pretty quick. Can I get him? Nope, that shell went behind his turret, but he hasn't recognized me. And this gives me the chance to get another shot into him. I try to hit the back of the turret so that the spalling goes down, but it's just not good enough to kill the entirety of the crew. Then I hear something to my left. I turn around and Tiger, oh yeah, he has not seen me, and this hits here the ammunition and kills the entirety of the crew with one hit. Then I see another tank. He gets the first shot off, but I disable him as well. But he has a light machine gun, and that is my undoing, because the crew is barely protected. The next battle is played on Stalingrad, and I try again to ambush here the enemy as good as I can. Now this battle is quite slower, quite shorter, I have hastened to add. And again, I try to go into unexpected places. The only redeeming feature is the gun elevation, and to make that work is not that easy. I wait patiently for these eyes too, and I get a beautiful one-shot kill on him. Immediately I try to reposition. Going for caps in this thing is the worst thing that you can do. People drop countless artillery strikes on you, the enemy know exactly where you are, you get outflanked, you are very poor in responding to close quarter engagements with enemies, they can machine gun you down, and that is pretty bad, that is pretty frightening. So here now an enemy, and I have no idea where he is. I think to myself, this ambush position is in theory really great, but you know, the one problem is the enemy won't come this way, in this battle at least. And again, look at how long it takes to rotate the gun. Now I hear the enemy tank, but I don't see him. So what to do. He must be right behind this wall. Again, I cannot really go for A, and I even cannot go for A and turn my back on him. And there I see a Puma. Then I see that he actually turns this way. There I see it, and I prepare, turning the tank with the gun, and we get a nice shot off. Then I try to run away from the tank that thinks that he can have a jump on me due to the reload or being distracted, but I still know that he's there. But he just doesn't want to come out and play with me. How unsporty of him. Okay, where is he? Where is he? Come on. Again, the firing angles are limited to 90 degrees to the left and to the right. So coming around the corner at best is sketchy. So the question for you guys is, do you love this playstyle? Do you love this battle rating? Do you love British guns and AP shots? Do you love to live dangerous? And do you think that this is worth investing your time in a premium tank? It's not the greatest performer. All the more satisfying are the kills that you get with it. So again, this is a challenge for experienced players. Oh, what is that? Oh. That looks like a PT-76. Okay. Is he charging forward? Yep, there he is. I disable him. And I just immobilize him. I wait for the reload. Not quite sure if he gets gun on me, but it's too late for him. And then, funnily enough, it causes a hull break. But not with the first shot. Okay, I'll take it. So here, now I think to myself, okay, I need to reposition. The Puma knows my location, and this PT-76 knows my location. Again, look at the limited gun traverse. You never realize how often you actually need it up until the point that you can't have it. And I think that the rest of my team, that they are able to get into A. I am not under immediate threat of losing the match or something like this. And so here I wait in ambush. I already have 3 kills. Now the question is, can I get an ambush kill? Oh, hello. I wait for him to turn and then knock out the rest of his crew. That was a Panther behind our lines. And now I wait. Let's hope that the rest of my team actually can go to A. Again, you can see my team is distributed across the entire team. One tries to go for the spawn camping on the enemy. One is in front of C. One is now going for A. And I am here in this really great ambush position. Now, the gameplay in this tank is rather dull and boring if you want to play it safe. But this is how you have to play it, right? And to make it short, that's all the action that there is. So a quick look at the post-battle results for 4 quick kills, and we got here ourselves 25,000 silver lines and 4,400 modification research points with a reduced vehicle research because it is of higher rank. Now, I think that the results that this vehicle gets as a premium are okay, but to get the results in the first place is not that easy. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of ambushing, preparation, planning, etc. And it's so easy to kill this tank with machine gun fire from planes, with any sort of armament, and tanks have no problem whatsoever. The gun handling is bad, and while the penetration is pretty decent, the post-penetration damage effect are not flavored up or spiced up by any sort of TNT filler, and there are no fancy shell types. So it's okay to have it, but it's not a must-have in my opinion. And that is my first quick look at the QF 3.7 RAM. I hope you enjoyed this quick informative video of about 15 minutes. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Again, as usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about this tank, and if this video has helped you in finding your way in the Operation F.R.O.S.T. And please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.